10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast, episode 453. Hey everybody, welcome back to episode 453 of the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast. So we are going to do something that we haven't done in a while. I was thinking about doing a second episode on Triste here, but you know what we haven't done for a long time is an etude. So I decided to write an etude over this. We'll call it our tune of the month, even though we have gone over a bunch of tunes this month. I think that this one is the sort of most in-depth, the one that has the most twists and turns, and just a really good tune to know. And I got away from etude writing for a while, but I think etudes are just so valuable. So we're just going to talk about this etude that's written over Triste. Another thing that I forgot that one of the Patreon members, George, was kind enough to remind me was that I didn't record a version of the melody last week for that initial episode on Triste. So what I've prepared for all the Patreon members this week is a recording that has the melody out front and then one chorus of an etude that I've written for you. And of course, you'll get the PDF for the etude so you can go and study it, memorize it, use it as inspiration, whatever the heck you want to do. But that's what this episode is going to be based around. So let's begin by listening to the melody of Triste, followed by the etude, and then we'll go from there. So there you have it, the melody and the etude. Now I want to give you what to kind of think about this week. So obviously all the Patreon members will get the actual etude in their appropriate key, plus they'll get those play along tracks. But I want to give you an assignment on top of that. So what I want you to do is I want you to go back to the materials from last week where I had a chord sheet for Triste, but it was very vague. It was very key center based. There wasn't a lot of information on it, right? And we did that for a reason. What I want you to start to do is I want you to look at the etude, which has actually like all of the chord changes on there, and then the sheet with just the key centers. And I want you to start to figure out how I decided what to include in the key center sheet and what not to include, and how I justified because there's a lot of changes in this tune. Like, it's dense. There's a lot of moving harmony. How did I decide that I could just reduce it down to what I did? And that type of thinking is really, really good, because what it does is it teaches you how you can reduce really complex and fast moving tunes down to something that's just a lot simpler and a lot easier to be creative over. And here's the thing: almost all complicated tunes can be reduced to some extent. And I think this is just such a valuable exercise, because I don't know about you, I've been at this for a long, long, long time. Okay. And my ability to read chord changes is pretty good. Like, I'm not super intimidated by them. But what I find is that when I do these reductions, either like beforehand or on the fly while I'm playing over it, it helps me be more free, more creative. It really gets me into that place that people like Kenny Werner talk about all the time, where it's like thinking is the enemy. We really don't want to be thinking while we're improvising. So this can be a great opportunity to sort of go through both of those sheets, one really specific, one key center based, and start to reckon how I made those decisions. Really sit with that for a while. Because if you sit with it for a while and you sort of figure it out, what I was really strict about and what I wasn't so strict about, that can really help you in your own life as a jazz musician to go, whoa, this is a ton of chords. Whoa, this is so intimidating. And then you have that ability in your back pocket to go, okay, well, what if I just grouped all these chord changes are just like based around one major key or one minor key. Oh, that's not so difficult anymore, right? So I really want you to try and do that if you have both of the sheets. Other than that, just have fun with the etudes, steal all my licks, whatever you want to do. Have fun with that, play along with it, keep practicing Triste, have it be one of those tunes that you actually have in your repertoire. I had fun getting back to these etudes. I really enjoy writing etudes for all of you. And I think this one came out pretty good. So if you want to get your hands on all these materials, you could do that at Patreon. And if you're not sure what that is, we're a listener-supported podcast. So we just rely on jazz students like you that enjoy the show to support us. We don't do any advertisements or anything like that. And for a really small monthly fee, you can get access to everything that we've ever done, meaning all the materials, which just make it so much faster to take these lessons and put them into action, start working on them in the practice room. So if you want to know more about that, you can go over to our website, 10minutejazzlesson.com, click on one of the Patreon banners or patreon.com, search for the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast. As a reminder, if you are going to sign up, I ask you to do it in a web browser and not through the iOS app, because if you do it through the iOS app, Apple takes 30% of your donation forever and ever and ever. If you do it on a web browser, all that support goes directly to the show to make sure it keeps coming out. All right. So again, 10minutejazzlesson.com, click on one of the Patreon banners, or patreon.com, search for the 10-Minute Jazz Lesson Podcast, and do that in a browser. Thanks to everybody that's supporting us. You are the reason that this thing keeps coming out. And enjoy the etude and enjoy going through that mental exercise of trying to figure out how the reduction was made. I will see you all soon. Hope you have a good one. Bye.